Well, hello. Whoops. Let's try that. There we go. Yeah, that's a lot better. Well, hello. I'd like to welcome you to another exciting episode of Pens in Use. This is a live streamed show tonight, and I'm trying out a whole bunch of new things. One of them was that, which was an immediate failure, so we'll turn it back off. So expect a lot of glitches, but I've worked through a lot of things since the last time I tried live streaming, so I'm really excited about that. I think even if the resolution isn't perfect, I think you're going to see the pens a lot better tonight. The audio, I think the audio was good last time. I'm not using this light. That was another fail I discovered last time. So I think we're in for a much better experience. I decided to open this up early. So I'm babbling a little bit because I think we have about a minute or so yet before I'm officially supposed to start. So I'll just tell you, I'll be recording this in my Bomo art journal. And since I've got a minute here, behind me here, we're in my living room. This is a small subset of my ink collection. More ink in this wood box here, which is an old chemistry box. And this is an old microscope case, which has a few inks. I want to turn into a case with some drawers. I just haven't gotten around to it. And then a few random inks stacked among the books down here. So anyway, I'm running this using a new camera I purchased using funds generated by the advertising dollars on this channel. I haven't done much with those advertising dollars, so I think this is a good use. And actually, I think this camera may end up seeing a little use in my classroom too, so we'll see. But let's turn our attention to the pens. So, of course, this is going to be yucky. And this was a panic. If you have been putting up with my attempts at live streaming tonight, or my experiments, I should say, you know kind of what's going on. A lot of failures tonight, but I got the thing working. And yeah, right there was one of the things that worked. I just switched it around. Now, I'm a little messed up because for me, everything on my screen is totally backwards from how you see it, but I'll put up with it. So, whatever. So let's just turn it so it's convenient for me. All right, so the pens for tonight, Stipler Etruria. I'm going to miss a few of the comments from time to time in the live chat, but let's just try to make that a little bigger. Oh, good. Jared Payne says the image quality is good. Chris Sain says, cool, glad I made it here. So, yeah, we've got a Stipula. Okay, sorry. Stipler Etruria Magma. This pen and I have been through some battles together, but I think I'm winning. One of the things that seems to have worked is Iroshizuku ink. Who knew? A video I'm going to be recording this weekend, finally. Esterbrook SJ. Oh, wow, that looks so good on the screen now. A video I thought I recorded, but I didn't find it. A Wing Sung 601. We have a Reform 4328. Which surprisingly is full of ink. Terry Love says it's okay, but I'd say one stop less exposure would help. I might be able to do that. There's 2 or 3. Well, let's make it a little more. There we go. So there's 2 or 3 less stops of exposure. Because fun thing, I can just press buttons on the camera now, and I can do that. I can also, I don't know how well I like it, zoom. But of course it's a programmed zoom, so that's not so awesome. OD says better now, good. Terry Love says better now, good. I'm glad. See, I think this camera was worth it. This is a dollar pen from Pakistan, our recent first impression. And very stingy with the ink because it's still full of ink. A lot with a beautiful, beautiful finish. And I just want to see what autofocus does with this. I don't know if it will work, but let's just see if autofocus will take a look at this. No, it won't. All right. Too close. Aurora DuoCart. Terry Love says, the pen tray being a neutral gray may be something to look at in the future. Touch of spray paint, maybe. I actually have a neutral gray pen tray down in the basement. Otherwise, I'd grab it and try it. But yeah, I will keep that in mind because that is a good idea. This is a tan tray. Did I show the, I don't know which one I was at. Desmond O'Neill, welcome. My dad is actually from Lyndhurst, New Jersey. Fun fact. This is a Sailor 1911 Ringless. And I fell in love with it because it had the epinard color. You know, I think this looks better than my actual review of that pen. This is my Yamanaka, a Platinum 3776 Yamanaka. I have the Platinum Carbon Black ink in it. And I just love the finish on this. There are a couple of them I loved, and this is one of them. For the foreseeable future, I don't know if I'll be getting another Platinum 3776. I have the nibs that interest me. There have been some finishes that interest me, but let's just say not enough to buy one. This pen got me in trouble a couple of weeks ago in several ways. You know, I ended up getting arrested by the FBI, taken to visit Nancy Pelosi and Donald Trump because, yeah, it's Ukrainian Ministry of Coal, but you know, we've got so much trouble with Ukraine lately here in the U.S. that, you know, I had some drama, but I won't repeat that drama tonight, I hope. As always, I'll be filming my writing samples in this Bomo art journal. That's the part I'm really excited about. I want to see what it looks like in this. I did some previewing, and I was pleased with the results, so I think we're going to get good things tonight. And I'm going to go diving into the other room a little bit later tonight because I promised somebody I was going to compare Apache Sunset, Shoreline Gold, and Autumn Oak, and I did forget until just now. So I will remember that and go into the other room and grab my Shoreline Gold's ink. And I don't know what pen it's going in, but I've got the feeling it's going to be a broad Lamy 2000, so it'll be a good comparison. So let's start out. I will zoom in here in a second with my Stipler Etruria. Today is November 1st. And yes, I could do the mechanical zoom that I demonstrated, or not the mechanical, the digital zoom, but I can also do a nice, okay, everything is backwards for me, mechanical zoom. And then you get all your pixels that you want. So November 1st, 2019. So we'll start with the Stipler Etruria. I'm going to move this a little closer to me because I realize now that I can. A flexibility I have not had with my regular reviews that are pre-recorded. I like this a lot. Stipler Etruria 88. And this is the Magma finish. And the ink, the nib has T-flex because it's a titanium deal. Oh, come on. My instincts will develop eventually. Yeah, to my eye, that's unreadable. Too much light on it. So, drawback to doing it this way. The ink in it is Iroshizuku, Fuyu-syogun. And the ink sample, or swatch, or whatever we're calling it nowadays. It's a very nice kind of stormy gray, which has matched the skies a lot of the nights this week here in North Dakota. In fact, Halloween, a lot of the trick-or-treating was done in the snow, so yay, North Dakota! Let's see. Chris Sane says, cool. Okay, glad this is cool. This is my Esterbrook SJ, a video. Oh, okay, instincts are backwards. But anyway, an Esterbrook SJ, which I will be reviewing this week. And wow, that looks amazing under this light. And it's a pretty pen. I'm going to have to miss comments for Chris Sainz, I'm guessing because it's the only ink I've used so far. She likes this thing. Yeah, I kind of like a stormy gray. Not just because I was born in that month, but November is one of my favorite months. I just kind of love the weather of November. So this, I can't read your messages right now. This is an Esterbrook SJ. I'm copying the nib because I just can't remember names of nibs like this. It's a 9314 fine, which basically means relief fine, which is another way of saying it's an oblique fine nib. You don't find too many oblique fines anymore. Any obliques you find are usually medium or broad or more. The ink in it is Colorverse Interstellar Space. And let's see here. We'll do a little swatch. This has been in the pen a little bit too long. It's probably lost some water. I always thought of Interstellar Space in this pen, or as Colorverse interprets it, as kind of a dark green ink. I personally think of Interstellar Space as being black, but whatever. Horse apiece, I guess. So now I can see comments again. Oh, Chris Sane says a friend of hers sent a sample. Okay. My next pen I inked up, I forget where I was headed, but it was somewhere unusual. Wow. Okay. My instincts will definitely take some time to develop here. This is a Wingsung 601. I bought it because of the filling mechanism. The nib unit is basically a Parker 51. Ooh, that ink smeared. That looks like a fine to me, but I don't know. The ink in it is Pelikan. Do they have royal blue? I'm going to call it royal blue because I can't remember the actual name of the ink. I have, I'll get into it here in a minute or two. Well, probably a few minutes. But I actually have some 1 liter bottles of Pelikan ink. One of them's black, one of them's blue. And it's a special name for the blue. It's like royal blue or something. That's what's in this pen. And they're at school where I work. And so I'll talk about that because it's Fountain Pen Day. Although Hell Week has been great, and I'm calling it Hell Week because I'm not getting things done. Okay, is it just me or does that look really messy? I think it looks really messy because it's backwards on my screen, but I don't know. All right, so this, I just sent a pen just like this to a pen pal. This is a Reform 4328. Has one of those amazing Bach nibs. I recently refilled it from the sample that's been in it because the sample is done so well. Pen Pal sent the sample of ink you're about to see. Yeah, that's as good as it's going to get. So this is a Reform. I can't remember if there's a size on it, and I got to go back to Evernote to remember the name of the ink. It's a Diamine ink. It's one of their special German editions. Diamine Skull and Roses. And of course, if you want more information on these pens, I put a list in the video description. And if you want to see videos on them, if I've done a video, I put a link to the video or videos in the video description as well. So my guess is Skull and Roses means something to Germans. It means nothing to me. I know Guns N' Roses, which is a band here in the United States. It was a band when I was a teenager. But, as far as Skull and Roses, I must have a German meaning. It's a blue ink, but it has a reddish sheen. And it's still drying. Let's get Evernote out of the way so I can actually see my preview and your comments, because it looks like somebody actually did provide a useful comment here. Oh, yeah, the reddish sheen is starting to show up there. Okay, and Jared Payne says he hasn't tried this one, but he's tried Smoke on the Water and November Rain. Hey, I know Smoke on the Water. All classic rock titles. There's also Communication Breakdown. No, I'm not. November Rain isn't ringing a bell to me. I'm thinking of Summer Rain, which was that Belinda Carlisle? It was something about a soldier, I think, going away to war. Anyway, I don't know. So I'll probably have to try those at some point. So on the note that I have to myself that I totally ignored, but I won't ignore, I have a $717. So this will be part of the trio here. I'm going to do these pens out of order. This is Noodler's Apache Sunset. Now, in the right pen, this ink can look almost yellow. This particular pen does not have a whole lot of flex to it, so you don't get the yellow so much. You get kind of what I'm going to call the base color. Which is, decent orange. All right, this is me going out of order now. I have my Platinum President, which is about to write with Autumn Oak, which was part of the question that this person asked. The nib isn't showing up oh, that's not bad. I don't know if I did much difference there with the lighting adjustment. Anyway, I have a broad gold nib. I'm seeing a clear color difference here. I don't have the artistic language really to describe it, but I guess it's a less bright color. Does that describe what I'm seeing here? Less red to it. I don't know how to put it into words. Now, if you all can put up with it for a minute, I'm going to disappear because in response to this person who asked about it, I'm going to go get some Shoreline Gold and put it into a different pen. And, I'd play music or something while I do that, but you're lucky you're even getting anything, because this has been a circus getting this all to work. So I'm going to go grab my Shoreline Gold, which is in my bedroom. So don't go away. Okay, I'm back. Had to wander a bit. Found it. No, I'm not in my seat yet. Whoops. And, oh, shoot. That's what I get for drinking water while I'm filming a video. I just knocked the whole glass of water over onto the floor. So, just a second, because it's laminate floor. I'm going to get a towel, and then I'll resume this. Okay, just a second. I just don't want to ruin my nice floor at the moment. Okay. All right, so I'm back. I had to move stuff. That was a circus, but I'm back. All right, yes, multi-Ebbet. This probably is an exciting episode. Anyway, and probably stupidly, I refilled my water, but we'll see. So let's see what this Shoreline Gold looks like. I'm putting it into a Lamy 2000 that has a broad nib. I'm looking at getting a double broad, but right at the moment, I've unless I dip into channel funds, I've destroyed some clothing that I wouldn't be buying normally, because I'm ending up buying a new pair of shoes for school, new pair of just everyday walking shoes, new pair of pants. I've just destroyed a whole bunch of clothes. I need to buy a new winter coat also, because the one I have is full of holes. That's the one thing I knew I needed. Everything else is just surprise, because one day I'm walking to school, stub my toe, and look down and realize I'm stubbing my toe on the loose flap of the sole of my shoe. And yeah, that was fun, because yeah, I have a giant hole in the sole of my shoes that I take to work. So yay. All right, so this is not in the video description. Let's try and turn this so everything's a little more straight. So this is a Lamy 2000 broad. And the ink in it is Private Reserve. Shoreline Gold. I wonder how many viewers I lost while I was cleaning up my mess on the floor. It's still very wet. I might run the towel over here again in a second. So this is a brighter ink than the other two, I think. I can't remember what made me buy a bottle of it, but I wanted a bottle. And, you know, because I've got the room, let's just rearrange this whole pen story again. So my video description is all shot to hell. Sorry, heck. But whatever. Let's bring out the Salz Conqueror. The focus is out. Huh. Looks good to me here. Anybody else think the focus is out? Anyway, I've got my Salz Conqueror here. Uh-oh. That pen may actually be empty. Yeah. All right. It was kind of a gamble whether I'd be able to write with this pen or not. Apparently not. So I was going to demonstrate Robert Oster Terracotta with that Salz Conqueror, but I've been using it kind of heavily this week, and I think I used it a bit too heavily. I thought I had a little more ink in it, enough to do this video, but clearly not. I do have some lovely writing and my own stuff with it, but let me just off screen here, just squeeze the lever, see if anything comes out. And then I'll know for sure. Okay, yeah. Even squeezing the lever, nothing came out of that ink, out of that pen. So she's dry as a bone. So let's forget about Salz Conqueror. Let's move on to the Lamy 80. The Lamy 80, I think, has a lot of relationship to the Lamy 2000. Let's see here. No, the nib is a lot more obvious. This is a, oh, what is it? Drawing a blank on the name for the nib. It is double broad. All right, found it. Luke says maybe it's a transmission. I agree. I sometimes find that with live streams that when they're happening live, sometimes it's me or sometimes it's the person recording. They just don't turn out too well right at that moment. So I would guess that's what's going on. Lamy 80. My Lamy 80 is full of Noodlers. The color Royale. And for reasons I don't recall off the top of my head, the purple color is often, especially in Europe, been associated with royalty. I guess purple dyes are more expensive. I don't know. I like the ink anyway. I guess that's the important thing. My next pen will be the Aurora DuoCart. I think I'm actually back on my list again. Chris Sane says replays are always clearer. She's right. With live streams, it's kind of iffy. So this is an older version of the Aurora DuoCart. Not the original, just the first remake. I guess there were some issues that had to be resolved. I was lucky and didn't get one of the pens that needed those issues resolved, but some people did. This has a blue-black ink in it. I like the Aurora blue-black. It's on my screen right now, it's looking very black, but Ink Guy says hello. Terry Love says, right back to Roman times, purple's a royal or imperial color, something to do with how much effort to make it. Yeah, that sounds right to me. Actually, I'm trying to remember what the application was, but I remember in Roman times, they used to go around and collect urine from people's homes. And I'm trying to remember what they used it for. Was it fixing certain colors? I don't remember, but I know I remember specifically they would collect urine from people's homes. And right now it has totally slipped my mind. If I'd prepared an outline of this ahead of time, other than the pens, I'd probably have that on mine, but I don't. Okay, another fun pen. Fun, he says. Let's do it like this. This is the Parker Sonnet. This is a sonnet that I purchased in Fargo, North Dakota at Zanbro's. Oh, okay. Terry Love says in medieval times was used as a fixative or in tanning leather. Aged, I think it's a source of ammonia. Sounds right. And Peter Palaeo says he tuned in late. Yep, that's okay. This is an experiment with a new camera and a new setup. I'm trying to see if I can live stream with better focus on the pens and the writing. So this is a Parker Sonnet. The nib in it, and Parker does everything backwards. So if I mess this up, I apologize in advance because it doesn't look like I wrote it down on my preview here. Actually, I didn't put Parker. Oh, there it is. Okay, Parker Sonnet. So this is a medium nib, but it is a right oblique. Whereas apparently most manufacturers would call it a left oblique. And the ink in it came from a viewer. This is Krishna, Writer's Night, which is just a really evocative name. And the color's not bad. It's kind of a dark purple. I tried the left oblique nib in this pen for 1 week. Oh, last year, I think. That was awful. But I like this nib a lot. And of course, I have another Parker Sonnet with a gold nib. And I have a Parker Sonnet drifting around that I think I'm going to have to bring up next week because I don't know where it is. And I've had enough distraction this week with spilling a whole glass of water on the floor. But I had a viewer send me some pens, and I think he sent me one he didn't mean to send. So I will talk about that next week probably. Let me just stand and see if I see it. Okay, I know where it is. Just a second. Okay. Sorry, I probably seem really disorganized tonight, but that's because I edit this stuff out of my regular videos. So this is the pen a viewer sent me. Very pretty, sparkly sonnet. Definitely says Parker Sonnet on it. Let me get myself back to here. Okay, and while I'm looking at this, Books for a Reason says it's so interesting. My Writer's Night bottle seems to be a different color, much like the various versions of Krishna pencil. Their colors don't seem to be the most consistent. I might agree with you. Terry Love, yeah, good thing it's a small house. You're right, 672 square feet. But anyway, Parker Sonnet. Black thing there, and I uncap it. So what he sent me has a Parker nib on it with an F for fine. Unscrew this, and it even has a Parker converter. So I contacted this person. I said, I think you sent me this pen by mistake because, Parker Sonnet is, he'd sent me a bunch of basically Chinese and Indian pens for my Fountain Pen Day giveaway, which I'll talk about here in a few minutes. And then this pen was included with it. And I feel like he sent me this by accident. And he said, nope, that's a fake Parker. I don't know. I don't know enough to know if it's fake, but I have a couple of the Chinese pens that are modeled after the Parker Sonnet. They don't claim they're Parkers. They identify themselves as Bayor or whatever they are. So I think he really did send me a Parker Sonnet. So hopefully we can get that sorted out. Because if it's a real sonnet, I'm pretty sure he did not mean to send it to me. The only thing I see different is that the black bit here in the finial is embedded further into the pen than it is in my Parker Sonnet. Let's just put them side by side here. Oh boy, the focus is terrible. Okay, so I'm trying to do a really weird shot, which is part of it. So right here, my thumb is on my Parker, which I think is real. Here it is on his Parker, which he claims is fake. And that black thing is just embedded further into the pen. So I don't know. It could really be a fake, but if it's real, I don't think he meant to send it to me. So hopefully we'll get that figured out. All right. Sailor 1911 Ringless. Terry Love, funny if his turns out real and yours a fake. Yeah, true. I bought mine at Zanbros in Fargo, so all of this that I've been saying about Zanbros and Fargo will get washed down the drain, but whatever. So Sailor 1911 Ringless. A few people suggested that, I had kind of an expensive ink in it because when I did the first impression, I had Sailor Epinard in it, of course. This has the music nib. So Sailor 1911. One thing I found is it does have to be more upright than some of my other pens do when I write with it. So normally you can see how let's try this. There we go. Normally you'd see how I'm writing, but with this pen, kind of difficult. The ink in this one is Pelikan. It may also be almost empty. I have to look at that. Edelstein. There we go. We're cooking now. It's got to be upright. Olivine. And this thing sucks ink down like a horse, if that makes sense. Ink Guy says, I was surprised you got it with the music nib. I've always wanted a Sailor music nib, so that's why I bought it this way. I'd like to try some of their other nibs, but I really wanted to try a music nib. I like their Zoom nib. I've tried some of their steel nibs. I've tried some of their, whatever they're called when they're twisted up. But yeah, I just wanted to try the music nib. Peter Paleo, you inspire me to experiment with older pens and some vintage. Good. They are actually good pens, and they're really worth trying out. Books or Reason says I'll send you a sample of Monteverde Olivine if you want to compare the two. Imho. Oh, in my wait, no. Okay, I don't know what imho means, but they're very different. I agree with that. So I'm guessing he's saying in my opinion, but I don't know what the H is. Peter Katorchka says, oh, I missed it. That's okay. Where you are, this is super late at night. I'm probably not at my best either because it's 8:15 now. Oh, a message has been held for review. Let's see. Oh, Andrew Camacho says, Fude Nib. Yes, that's the word I was looking for. Books or Reason, in my humble opinion. Okay, that makes sense. I'm terrible with text speak. Okay, true story. Just give me a second here. So I teach a junior high STEM class, and I probably should be careful about this, but I had a student try to turn in a keychain because I was teaching them 3D design for the 3D printer. So I had them design keychains. And my rules were you had to have some words on it, and you had to have some kind of design, and there were some size rules, and there was something about having a keyhole. Anyway, she put STFUB on it. And so, I asked her, what does that mean? And she says, oh, it's just a name from a movie. I Googled it. Of course, even I'm not that dumb. We all know what that means. And no, I'm not going to say it on my channel. Junior high kids are fun sometimes. And I say fun in air quotes, sarcastic air quotes. Okay, this is my Platinum 3776 with the Yamanaka finish. Has a soft medium nib, which is delightful. The ink in it is platinum, carbon black. I'm kind of skipping there, but I feel like that was taking forever. Oh, let's see. Chris Sain says, hi, Adam. Okay. Peter Katorchka says, yeah, 316. Oh, yeah, 3:16 a.m. I would not be up at that time of the day. I am not functional then. Ink Guy. Okay, Chris. Terry Love. IMHO is pretext speak was used on CompuServe and AOL. So I missed that boat. That's part of the internet was around for quite a while, and I just was oblivious to it. In college, I don't know, was it probably my junior year? I started to realize that the computers in the computer lab had internet. I'd used email and stuff since I was a freshman, and we had a VAX made by DEC as a computer at the college, and we had forums and stuff on the VAX, and there were terminals right there in the computer lab. And actually, we were one of the first colleges in the country, if you saw my shirt when I opened the video, that had laptops, but we were so far behind. And speaking personally, I was really far behind. I had, VAX VMS, you know what I'm talking about, Peter Katorchka. But yeah, I was so far behind. I remember a guy, I took assembler, either as a sophomore or junior, and a guy came in and he started talking about internet and all kinds of, words that just meant nothing to me. And I was just so confused. And I tried to ask him to define him. And he just says, I don't believe that you don't know that. But I didn't. I was that out of it, out of the loop. I had no idea. Let's get a better view here of the whole writing sample. So, yeah, I was late to the boat, I guess. I had dial-up internet starting. I'm trying to think. Not 2000. Well, okay, I had it 2 summers. 2000, summer of 2000 and the summer of 2001. But then I didn't have it, and the computer I had that did dial-up, I couldn't do pictures or anything, so I had to use. Was it Lynx? It was a really old browser, super primitive. And then I moved south in the state, and it was 2 years later, so probably 2004 I got dial-up there. I never actually got high-speed internet until 2006. I had it at school, just never had it at home. Of course, now I wouldn't look back. I'm not going back to dial-up. Fun fact, my parents, who my dad will be, he's 79 this year, I think. They're still on dial-up. They cannot get high-speed internet where they live, and they live in Pennsylvania. So take that for what it's worth. All right, while I'm here, real quick, I'm just going to take a photograph of this writing sample because I'm going to forget. But yeah, I have lots of memories of using the VAX. Of course, the forums. That's where I turned in all my programming assignments, was through the VAX. I took a computer course. It was supposed to be about using computers in education, but basically it was a Pascal course when I was in college. And of course, who uses Pascal now? Nobody. But we learned Pascal, so yay for me. And then I took assembler just for fun, because that's how I roll. And then I took, I did take MATLAB, but that was a physics course, so that was a little different. Yeah, and somewhere along the line I picked up LaTeX, but I think I picked that up by myself. Okay, Peter Katorchka says Lynx, and probably also Lynx, is still developed. Oh, good to know. Nobody, but that language is intended to teach you to think, not to use it in the real world. Very true. Actually, my college, and I didn't have to do this, my college also taught the engineers to use COBOL. I don't know if anybody uses COBOL. The last time I heard about COBOL was around the year 2000 with the Y2K bug, because apparently it was the one programming language that COBOL was. No. Fortran is what they used. COBOL was the one that didn't have the Y2K bug. They used COBOL. Sorry. COBOL is what the engineers had to learn. I never had to learn that. Peter Kodorchka says it's fun, so I'll take your word for it. Now, personally, lately, I've been learning C for the Arduinos that I use in some of my classes, and I've been using, just this fall, the class I've been taking is Python, and I've been learning about, what's the Java one called? Drawing a blank. Anyway, whatever the Java one is. Okay, so I'm going to switch the camera around to look at me again. See how I did that. I got to remember. Because of course it's not easy. Hey, I'm upside down again. So I press the magic button and I should flip around. Hey, there we go. Let's turn off the light. Oh, that didn't help a lot. But anyway, so yeah, those are the pens I've been using, and I'll look off screen occasionally because this is a live stream, and if I'm not looking off screen, I'm not live streaming with you, so it's just something you're going to have to put up with. But Ink Guy says he had to learn C++. I'm not sure what the difference is between C++ and C. I probably should know that, but I don't. But yeah, the Arduinos use C, and then we have some additions because I do some robotics using the Arduinos and C. Peter Katorchka says, nowadays I only use Perl. Not that much to do in programming, so scripting language is enough for me. I don't know anything about Perl. I've done a bit in HTML. Every so often it comes in handy. I still use LaTeX quite a bit. That's how I write a lot of my materials for class. That's not exactly a programming language, probably a scripting language, or it's like HTML only for laying stuff out on paper. But yeah, my programming experience is limited. So let me just lean forward here. Oh, Terry Love says C++ adds object orientation to C, but it's more complicated than that. I will take your word for it. So what I have open here, I just have my list of things I wanted to hit tonight. So let me just resize my window so I don't lose stuff. Peter Katorchka says Perl is similar in target group to Python. Okay, now you're talking my language. Ha ha ha. Didn't even do that on purpose. Shorter programs and scripts for which shell script is not enough. Okay, that makes sense. So a couple other things. So tonight, if you've been following this channel, I did a whole bunch of short live streams. Most of them turned out to be failures. I was trying to get the software that comes with this new camera to live stream because I didn't think I'd be able to talk to this camera. I thought I would have to use a different camera, but hey, I got this camera finally turned around. So yeah, so I was playing around with it. Programming should be taught, but because it's a great tool for absolutely. It is, computers don't just do random things. They do what you tell them to do. And when you're programming, you have to know what you're telling them to do. Peter Katorchka asked, what is the new camera? It's actually an IPEVO. What's the model? Shoot. IPEVO V, sorry, I'm tipping it over so I can read it. VZR. And I like it. I used to use an IPEVO a lot in my teaching. And if you go back a few years in my older videos, oh, and it's sensitive. What's sensitive? Okay. There, that looks a little more straight. If you go back to some of my older reviews, I used to use an older model of this camera. And it was sometimes laggy and horrible. But anyway, I like this one so far. They've come a long way. Let's see. I got 2 sailors this week. The first music nib is too broad for me. Yeah, the sailor music nib is very broad. And then Terry Love says, if your granny knits, she's a computer following a program knitting pattern. Actually, my grandmother was into crochet, but I get your point. Yeah, she's following a program. My mother is into knitting. She used to do a lot more cross-stitch and stuff, but as she's gotten older, her eyesight isn't quite good enough for cross-stitch anymore. So now she's more into knitting and crochet. She's turning into her mother. Don't tell her I said that, but she doesn't have high-speed internet, so she'll never know I said that. Let's see. Oops, lost the line here. Gemerelb says, oh, I only just saw you were streaming live. Yep, that's okay. Books are reason, and yeah, I can knit, crochet, tatting, but I can't program at all. That's okay. I can only program certain languages. Graham Teller says, I'm playing with Smalltalk. I'm missing some lines here. I don't know why I'm missing them, but let's see if I can make the screen bigger. I'm missing like half of what he said. There we go. Okay. I'm playing with Smalltalk, which I don't know what that is. I used Fourth for a long time, but like Factor as well. That totally passed me by. I have Sailor 1911 with a fine nib, a stiff nib, but perfect for Japanese. I get that part. Gemerelb, if I missed Depends on Use. Yes, but luckily this will be recorded so you can rewatch it later. Terry Love, you don't see tatting mentioned much. My mother was a tatter. Yeah, I don't see anybody tatting around here. My mother never got into that. Chris Sane says you'll be able to. Okay, yeah. And Terry loves small talk and forth, reverse Polish notation languages. Okay, I do know what reverse Polish notation is. This is the refilled offending glass of water that went all over the floor earlier in this disaster of a video. Now I can't remember my other topic I was going to bring up. The live streaming. So I experimented a lot with live streaming tonight. That was a whole bunch of those short videos that showed up. Most of them didn't come up. 2 of them did. They were my successful experiments, and that's what led to this. I can't get the software that comes with this camera to work with YouTube. I don't know why, but I can't. It says it can, but it can't. I followed the instructions, so I got to figure that out. And I'm okay if it doesn't. The only benefit I'd get from it is I could switch cameras. But other than the awkwardness of having to physically move this camera, I guess I'm okay with how this is turning out. I think I look decent, and I think the writing looked good, so I can live with that. And the sound, I got that working. Let's see. I do have some free time again, finally. Really excited about that. Last week and this week were both kind of failures. Last week, Pens and Use just didn't happen. I had a busy week, and I thought, well, okay, I'll just record it late on Friday. Well, it turned out it would have been really late, and by then I was ready for bed. And then Saturday, I had to get up super early because I had to give the ACT because I had to proctor that. And then immediately from the ACT, I had to go to the football game, photograph that for the paper and yearbook because we're playing in a regional championship. We are very close to going to state. I don't know if we're there yet, but we're very close. And we won 52-0, so that's good. It was cold. There was a lot of snow around, but, I was happy because, we did well. We put in freshmen for a lot of the game, and not that they scored, but they didn't let the other team score, so good for them. ATC, air traffic control. I think I missed something there. Oh, no, I didn't. I said that. I said ACT. That's a test that students take. I can't remember what it stands for. It's an acronym, but American students take as a college admission exam. I should know what the UK equivalent is, but it's not coming to me right now. I've avoided the worst of the fires then. Yeah, I'm in North Dakota, so no fires here. Snow. Graham Teller says, I'm thinking of getting a Pilot Custom 74 with a soft fine nib. I've never used a soft Pilot nib. I've used the fines, which I like, but I've never used the soft one, so hopefully somebody else can offer that. And yes, 52-0 is a pretty resounding victory. I actually hate games like that because I don't like feeling sorry for the other team. I like competition, and I like when they're a lot closer. You don't like losing, but you want them to put up a fight, and your team has to work. In North Dakota, the flames freeze before the winds carry them along. Probably in the winter, that's true. Ink Guy, yeah, I agree. It is late. I'm going to head to bed pretty soon, too. It is, what time is it, my time? 8:30, so not too bad, but yeah, getting toward bedtime. But yeah, I've got a little more free time now, so I'm looking at getting ahead on the pen videos, so I don't have another week like this past 2, because I missed Pens and Use last week. I finally figured out it's just not going to happen. But I'm going to get ahead this weekend on some videos. We're playing in another regional championship, so we'll see how that goes on Saturday. But otherwise, I've got the rest of Saturday free, and I've got Sunday free, which is nice. So, I'll get some pen videos, at least for 2 weeks or so filmed. Veterans Day, of course, I'll have off, and Thanksgiving break I'll have off. So I'm looking at getting ahead at least through December between those 2 breaks. And over the Thanksgiving break, I really want to start filming those productivity videos. So look forward to that. Let's see. Gemerelba, 1:30 p.m. here. 1:30. Okay, you're definitely not in the United States. 1:30 p.m. That's afternoon. Sailcat has a soft medium nib and is excellent. Good to hear. Yeah, I would like to try the soft pilot nibs. That's just lately I've been more into vintage pens and a few new pens, but not very many. So I kept thinking I'm going to buy one of these fantasy pens that was on my list from last year that I called aspirational pens around Christmas, but not a single one of them has happened. So maybe I'll look at just getting a soft pilot nib. I do have a Falcon nib from Pilot, which I like very much. Let's see. Oh, yeah, my other excitement. So, yeah, I will be doing that that organization series. I'm looking at some driving videos. And yeah, the most exciting thing that happened to me last week. So I had that horrible, I kept calling it the week from hell. And you're thinking, what did you do Saturday afternoon after the football game that you didn't do a late pens and use? Well, I'll tell you what happened. I photographed the football game, got, I think, some pretty decent football pictures, and came home, went to go into my house, reached into my pocket. School keys are there. No house keys. Yay! So, yeah, I seriously, no house keys. And luckily, I've been living on my own since I was 18. I'm 43 now for a few more days. I'll be 44 on November 5th. But luckily, I've always kept a set of keys hidden outdoors in a secret location. First time I've needed them. Got into my house, looked all over the house for the keys, thinking, well, maybe I just left them at home, because I have done that before. Nope. Walked back down to the school, looked at the room where I gave the ACT, looked at all the rooms I'd been in, went out to the football field, walked up and down the sidelines several times, got some friends to walk up and down the sidelines, including my friends' kids to walk up and down the sidelines. Nope. Walked to the gas station where I'd gone for some reason to look for coffee, and nope, they weren't there either. I don't know where these keys went. I don't know how they disappeared. But yeah, I lost my house keys. And, by the time I was done searching, that whole, hey, let's film a pens in use was not a thing anymore. So I didn't. Let's see. Gemerelba says, last I checked, Australia is not one of the United States. Okay, I did not realize you were in Australia. That would explain why it's 1:30 p.m. where you live. Books are a reason. I just got my first Schaefer balance, and it's amazing. Oh, okay. I have never, I'm trying to think if I've used a Schaefer balance. Maybe. I'll have to look through my catalog. I can't remember what the name, I had a crimson colored Schaefer vintage. Might be a Schaefer balance. Oh, thank you. Happy birthday. Yeah, on Tuesday. That'll be my birthday. Peter Katorchka says I should do a Keys in Use episode 1 instead. Yeah, I was not in a good mood after doing all that searching for keys. And I just kind of sat in my living room and sulked till I went to bed. So not real productive. So I had my house keys on it. I had my post office box key. So I was hoping all week the keys would turn up somewhere. And because what I did is I went back to my classroom after I gave the ACT and I changed clothes, put on different pants and different shoes and so on. So I had to empty my pockets and then put it into different jeans. So I thought, well, maybe it's in one of the other pairs of jeans. Nope. Maybe I left it on a table in my room where I put everything. Nope. I don't know where those keys went, and they've not turned up. So if you see them, 2 house keys and a post office box key, let me know. They're on a ring. So let's see. Graham Telfer says, sorry. I've got an old LSE, still writes like a dream, and the nib is lovely shape. Yeah, some of those old vintage pens. I don't know that particular model, but yeah, some of those old vintage pens are a lot of fun. Jim Realm says, enjoy tuning into your pen videos and appreciate their international flavor. Thanks for doing this live at a time when... That's true. I would imagine most of the time when you get streams from the United States, you're at work or you're asleep or something. So I'm glad this worked out for you. For my European viewers, not so much, but perhaps for any Asian or Australian viewers, this worked. There really is no ideal time to do one of these. I'll just be honest. I've got enough viewers from all over the world that there's no one time that works. So I guess that's good. I like having this diversity of viewers. They challenge me in ways that I wouldn't get from just viewers from one country. So it's a lot of fun, actually. But it is heading toward my bedtime, which I suppose is a challenge. But anyway, I want to thank you all for watching. I want to thank you all for encouraging me in a way to get me to get this new camera. I think this camera will be wonderful for live streaming, especially for the writing. I'm looking forward to looking at this video and just analyzing how the writing turned out, studying it, and getting an idea, because I think it looked sharp in the previews. I'd like to hear what you all think. Oops, let me scroll here just a bit. Oh, Jim Earl, Pen Addict podcast streams at 1 or 2 a.m. at the moment. Terry Love says, I'm often up late for live streams about Linux from the U.S. Yeah, you'd have to be an insomniac. Just pick the time that works for you. Yeah, that's what's going to happen. And Chris says, it was fun. Thanks. Have a great birthday. I hope I will. Actually, fun fact, I'm not working that day, but I will be taking a class that day. So, yay me. And let's see, Graham Teller says, have to go now. Good. I have to go to, Graham is in Japan and it's lunchtime. Thank you. Sail Cat, well done. Another great video. Thank you. And another happy birthday. I try to age just like, I try to increment my age just by 1 digit per year. Well, so far that's worked out. And Etta B, good night. Yep. So I want to thank you all for watching. And hopefully I'll have a good birthday. I don't have anything really planned other than that class I'll be at all day, learning Python, but that's how I roll. So thank you all for watching. We'll see you later. Bye-bye. Ooh, was that a good segue to disappear from the screen? I don't know. How do I stop this? This is different than the last time I did it.